Hey guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video, and today we'll be taking a look at an updated tier list ranking every single card in Clash Royale after the latest balance update. And we have some big changes here from my previous tier list, so make sure you stick around if you want to find out what the best cards in the game are. Now, of course, this is based off my personal opinion after playing Clash Royale over the past 5.5 years, as well as the win rates and use rates of the actual cards, which we get from the website Royale API. We'll actually be taking a look at that at the end of the video as well. I have 5 tiers over here prepared, ranging from S tier, aka the strongest cards in the entire game, all the way down to D tier, the very weakest cards that are desperately in need of a rework. But our very first card over here is everybody's favorite card to face on ladder, the Elite Barbarians, the mid-ladder warrior, just dominates Clash Royale. They are, in my opinion, an A tier card. Just honestly, the stats they have are absolutely insane. They deal so much damage, they attack so fast. Even if one Elite Barbarian gets to your tower is dead. They are just an insanely strong card. Now, moving on here, the archers are going to be a B tier, aka a good and balanced card. B tier is basically where you want the power level of a card to be. It's good, it's balanced, it does what it's supposed to do, but it isn't overly strong or overly weak. So B tier is like the baseline average of what a card should be. Baby Dragon is definitely being A tier, just for 4 elixir, the splash damage that it offers, the health that it has, and the fact that it's a flying card as well. It's just a very versatile card in Clash Royale. Bandit also is A tier, borderline S. I'm just going to throw it in S tier. The Bandit, in my opinion, is one of the best cards for the elixir cost because of the utility that it has. For the 3 elixir cost, you can use it in a variety of different ways, whether it's immediate pressure at the bridge or defensively to deny things like a Prince charge. Barbarian over here, it's gonna be a C tier, a little bit on the weaker side. 7 elixir cost, just very rarely ever gives a positive elixir trade and very hard to use successfully in the current meta. Barbarians, B tier, balanced, good. They aren't overly powered, but they aren't too weak either. Barbarian Barrel, another S tier card over here. By far one of the best small spells in the game. Just the ability to destroy swarm units and also have a mini tank that spawns out afterwards. And also if you use it at the bridge, it's 2 Barbarian swings to a tower if it's unanswered. Just a very, very versatile card in Clash Royale. Bats as well. I honestly think bats are an S tier card because they are 2 elixir, and if your opponent does not have an immediate response for them, they can deal an insane amount of damage in a short time frame, and they have the ability to distract things like Infernal Towers and Infernal Dragons. Battle Heal over here going to be a B tier, good balanced card, not overpowered, not underpowered. Battle Ram over here, B tier as well. Same thing with Dark Goblin. Bomber over here used to previously be an S tier card. It was all of the meta before that last balance update. However, I think with the nerf, it now has fallen down to a B tier card, which is basically where it should be. It's a good card, does what it's supposed to do, but isn't overpowered. Bomb Tower, similarly, I believe is a B tier card. It got a little bit of a buff, but isn't quite as dominant as the Tesla once was, and is still a B tier card. Bowler is going to be B tier. Elixir Pump, unfortunately, is a D tier. One of the weakest cards in the entire game. Just very, very hard to ever make value for, because basically any spell in the game can give your opponent value and destroys your pump. Inferno Tower, going to be C tier. We're currently in a meta that's dominated by swarm decks, things like Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits, things like that, and it's just very hard to effectively use the Inferno Tower because it only targets 1 unit at a time. And honestly, the legendary card, the Infernal Dragon, just basically outshines the Inferno Tower in every aspect because it has the ability to counter push as well and is cheaper in elixir cost. Mortar over here is a very versatile win condition, A tier card in my opinion. You can use it on defense if you need to. You can also use it on offense to attack an enemy's tower. Just the versatility, in my opinion, makes it an A tier card. Tesla Tower previously was S tier. However, I believe because of the nerf, it now falls all the way down to a B tier card. Expo over here going to be a B tier card as well. Cannon Cart over here. This might be a bit of a surprise for a lot of you watching right now, but I strongly believe that Cannon Cart is secretly one of the best cards in the entire game. I want to go ahead and rank it S tier. It just has an insane amount of health. It has that shield form and the building form to pull enemy tanks. It has a long range and a high damage output. I just strongly believe that the Cannon Cart is a undervalued card in the entire game. Not a whole lot of people appreciate how powerful it actually is, but if you use it, you almost instantly realize how strong it is. Cannon, however, not necessarily anywhere near his cart brother, and he's all the way down here at C tier because he just doesn't have the ability to move, and he just honestly isn't nearly as cool as the Cannon cart. Balloon, Over here, maybe an argument can be made for A tier, but because of the recent snowball buff, I believe the balloon is a B tier, balanced and good card in Clash Royale. Same thing with Golem. He's kind of just chilling over here in the B tier like he has been for a while. The Witch, unfortunately, all the way down here at the D tier. I know, I'm sorry. The Witch is everywhere on mid ladder, but honestly, she's just a very hard card to get value for, considering she costs 5 elixir. Clone Spell is going to be C tier, maybe even D tier because of the recent Night Witch nerf. The Clone Spell was basically only ever used in Night Witch like beatdown strategies, but because the Night Witch no longer spawns bats out, the clone is equally as weak. So I'm gonna go ahead and rank it as a D. You know what? We'll throw it C tier because every so often you can kind of catch your opponent off guard with that clone spell. It's just a very matchup dependent card. Dark Prince all the way up here at A tier. An argument can be made for S tier as well, but I think it's just a strong card. Good mini tank in Clash Royale, has shield, has splash damage, and it's just very, very versatile. Night Witch over here, way down here, C tier, weak. The last nerf to the Night Witch hit her very, very hard. No longer spawns bats upon death. Just overall isn't a very good card in the current meta. Earthquake, B tier, good balance. That's what it's supposed to do. Isn't overpowered. Same thing with the Electro Dragon. The Electro Giant, however, oh boy, this card got hit hard. I know. Many of you guys might disagree with that, but the 4% health nerf of the E-Giant made a pretty big difference because the E-Giant has the longest pull distance of any card in the entire game, which means you can use a building to pull the Electro Giant to the opposite lane. It's just so easily distracted, and with that lower health, it just dies so much quicker. And I know it seems like 4% health might not be a whole lot, but watch when I show you the win rates and the actual stats of the cards at the end of the video, you will see how poor the Electro Giant is currently performing. So there are stats to back up why I believe the Electro Giant is a C tier card right now. Electro Spirit, however, all the way up here at S tier. With the nerf to the Fire Spirit, the Electro Spirit once again reigns supreme as the one Electro Spirit card. Just very, very versatile, chain attack, reset ability, just overall strong card in Clash Royale. Electro Wizard here, A tier, strong. E-Golem, all the way down here at C tier. Unfortunately, ladder is dominated by splash damage cards, Valkyries, Wizards, Mega Knights, stuff like that. So it's just very, very hard to consistently use the Elixir Golem in Clash Royale. Executioner, C tier, honestly just too expensive for what it offers at 5 Elixir. In almost any deck in the game, you're almost better off going with a Baby Dragon instead of Executioner because it costs 1 less Elixir, has a bit more health, and is flying. So just overall as a beast. Firecracker Sword is a B tier, good balance. It can be annoying, but honestly it isn't overpowered. Fireball, A tier, strong, even with the buff to the poison spell, because we are in a meta dominated by things like Royal Hogs, Fireball is still a dominant spell. Goblin Hut, B tier, good, balanced. That's what it's supposed to do. Isn't underpowered, isn't overpowered. Same thing with the Furnace. Now, an argument here could be made that the Furnace is an A tier card. The reason I say that is because the change to the Fire Spirit has now made it so that no 4 Elixir range card has the ability to counter the waves of Fire Spirits. If you watch things like Musketeers or Baby Dragons, they go in, they get 1 attack against the Fire Spirit, then the Fire Spirit jumps against it. What that means is there's very limited Elixir efficient options to deal with that Furnace besides using your spells. So I believe it is a B tier, good card, but that is what it is. Fire Spirit, however, unfortunately has fallen all the way from S tier previous meta all the way down to C tier. It does still offer the most elixir efficient way to deal damage to a tower, considering for 1 elixir it does more damage to a tower than a fireball does. However, because of the radius reduction, it no longer has the ability to deny a Goblin Barrel, and because of that, the versatility was cut drastically. And when you only have 8 cards in a deck, you need to have each card be as versatile as you possibly can, and that's why I'm ranking the Fire Spirit over here at a C tier. By the way, ignore this elixir cost right here. It is currently 1 elixir. Fishy Boy. Boy, oh boy, the Fishy Boy. S tier. I believe the Fish Boy is an insanely strong card. It just offers so much utility. You can pull things away from your win conditions. You can pull things off of your tower. You can activate King Tower with it. And it's a good mini tank as well. Just honestly, all those aspects give it a ton of versatility and just make it a very, very strong card in Clash Royale. One of the strongest at that. Fly Machine in the current meta, A tier. Unless you have a Fireball or a Mega Minion for it, it can absolutely overwhelm and destroy you. And it's one of those cards that almost always demands an immediate response. So I believe the Flying Machine is an A tier card. Free Spell, you know what? We're going to go Free Spell as A tier. That might seem controversial. The only reason I'm ranking a Free Spell as an A tier card is because Balloon Lumberjack Bowler Freeze is everywhere and it dominates the meta. One of the top decks in the entire game. If it wasn't for that one strategy dominating, Free Spell would be all the way down here at C tier, but because that one deck is so powerful right now, I'm ranking the Free Spell as A tier. You know what? It could be B tier as well, because it's the rest of the cards in the deck that make it OP, but yeah, let's just go B tier. Royal Ghost, however, ooh, A tier card. Similar to the Bandit, the Royal Ghost for 3 Elixir is just insane value. It has the ability to go invisible, and even a 1 health Royal Ghost can demand a response from your opponent. Just a very, very valuable card. Giant's Melee over here, unfortunately, is a C tier. Just never has been the same since the Death Bomb nerf. Spear Goblins, A tier or even S tier. Just for 2 Elixir, range, spam, swarm, everything in one nice little package. Just a very strong card in Clash Royale. Now, Goblin Barrel over here is going to be a B tier card because of the nerf to the Fire Spirit. Goblin Barrel is much more viable than it was before, but I don't think it's overpowered, so I believe it is a B tier card. Goblin Cage is going to be A tier, just one of the best buildings in the entire game. None of the spells offer any sort of value versus the building version, and the Goblin Brawler is an absolute beast that spawns out afterwards. Goblin Gang is going to be an A tier card. Actually, no, B tier. It's not overpowered. It's good, it's balanced, it's B tier. Same thing with Goblin Giant. Goblins are a bit on the weaker side. Graveyard over here is one of the best win conditions in the entire game, so I'm going to go ahead and rank it up at A tier, aka a strong card. Same thing with Heal Spirit. Because we are in a meta dominated by things like Royal Hogs, Heal Spirit once again proven to be valuable in the current meta. A lot of these support cards can change depending on what's in and what's out of the meta, which is why previously Heal Spirit was lower and Fire Spirit was higher, but now because the meta has shifted, Heal Spirit is once again up there in the rank. Hog Rider is going to be B tier. Hunter is going to be an A tier card. Nice little buff in that last balance update, making it a very versatile card. Splash damage, high DPS up front, and overall works very, very well in fireball bait decks and fast cycle strategies as well. Ice Golem, I believe, is going to be an A tier card. Just 2 Elixir as a mini tank. Very, very valuable. Works so well in this fast cycle strategies. Ice Wizard, C tier, weak. Ever since it dies to fireball, it's just never been the same. Infernal Dragon, boom, all the way up here, S tier. Infernal Dragon is part of the reason why Inferno Tower is so far down, because for the Infernal Dragon, it's 1 less Elixir, and it has the ability to counter push, and it still destroys things basically as fast as the Inferno Tower does. So I strongly believe the Infernal Dragon is one of the best cards in the entire game, which is why you see it being used in so many different strategies. Knight over here, A tier, just so many good stats for the Elixir cost. Lava Hound, B tier. Lightning Spell, B tier. Magic Archer going to be up here at A tier. Very, very valuable kind of backup win condition and support card. Mega Knight is moving on up to A tier. Because the current meta has things like Royal Hogs everywhere, Mega Knight is still very valuable once again. Mega Minion is going to be A tier, just a very, very versatile air defense. Miner, I believe, is A tier, just because it works so well in a lot of those fast cycle kind of like wall breaker decks, which are very, very strong in the meta right now. Miner is A tier in my opinion. Minion Horde is going to be all the way here at D tier. Just very, very hard to ever get consistent value in a wide variety of ladder battles with the Minion Horde, because almost anytime you use it, it's almost guaranteed you're going to face arrows or something like that, and it's just so hard to ever effectively use if your opponent has like even a couple of splash damage cards in their deck. Minions, however, because they only cost 3 Elixir, are a B tier, good balance card. Same thing with Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mirror, unfortunately, very, very weak. One of the weakest cards in the entire game. Basically, it's only ever really used in meme strategies. Mother Witch, despite the nerf, is still an S tier card in my opinion. I believe the Mother Witch is still very, very valuable because of the ability to spawn out those piggies, which can often go in front of your win condition to offer distraction. She's just a very, very valuable card. Musketeer can be B tier. P.E.K.K.A. over here at B tier. Poison Spell, even though it was bopped, it's still comparable to Fireball, so it's going to be A tier as well as his Fireball brother. Over here, Prince B tier, Princess B tier, Lumberjack B tier as well. Same thing with the Ram Rider and the Rascals and the Rocket. A little bit of a lightning round over here. Royal Giant B tier, it was nerfed, but still a very good win condition in Clash Royale. Royal Piggies all the way up here at, hey, where'd they go? Where'd my piggies go? Oh, there they are. Royal Piggies all the way up here at S tier. I think the Piggies are one of the best win conditions in Clash Royale right now. The reason I say that is because they were strong beforehand, but they got more damage. And a lot of people kind of like were controversial about that buff to the Royal Hogs. So I believe currently they are one of the best win conditions in the entire game. Moving on, here we got Royal Recruits. It's going to be an A tier card because they synergize so well with decks that use the Royal Hogs. We also have down here the Skeleton Barrel. I believe it's going to be an A tier card. Actually, you know what? Skeleton Barrel's B tier. Sorry, Skeleton Barrel. Stay down. Skeleton Dragons over here, B tier. Skarmy, B tier. Skeletons, once again, S tier. And every time I do a video like this, everyone disagrees with me when I rank the Skeletons as an S tier card because they say to me, Shane, look at the Skeletons. They don't deal a whole lot of damage and they die to basically anything in one shot. But here's the thing. At 1 elixir cost, you're almost always guaranteed value for those skeletons. And there are so many different things you can do to get positive trades with the skeletons. If you have, for example, a musketeer crossing the bridge, throw down 1 elixir skeletons and you have a 1-for-4 positive trade. These skeletons are absolutely insane. Guards over here got a nice little buff. Up here at A tier now, in my opinion. Just the damage they offer is absolutely insane. Snowball all the way up here at S tier. One of the best small spells in the entire game right now because of the extra knockback distance. Also, we have Ice Spirit, B tier. Log Spell, it's going to be an A tier card. We have the 3 Musketeers B tier. Even though the Royal Hogs are doing better right now, and theoretically the Musketeers are in a better spot right now, they still aren't quite overpowered. So we're going to stay in the B tier list right here. Tombstone B tier. Tornado Spell all the way up here at S tier. Just one of the best spells in the entire game. Has so much utility, versatility, damage to towers, destroy swarms, can offer immediate positioning in the arena, and activate King Tower as well. Just one of the best spells in the entire game. Moving on, here we got Valkyrie, B tier good. Wall Breaker is going to be an A tier condition for sure. Wizard over here is going to be on the C tier list. It is a tough card to ever use successfully once you start pushing up higher in trophies. Once you start facing players that know how to counter the Wizard, it is almost impossible to use effectively. And there are almost always going to be a better option in your deck than the 5 Elixir Wizard. So it is a C tier card in my opinion. Sparky, B tier good. Zappies, B tier good. Same thing with the, actually Zap Spell's A tier over here. Royal Delivery B tier, Giant is going to be B tier, Arrows B tier, and then we also have the Goblin Drill. Boom, C tier. The Goblin Drill has fallen quite a bit. Now this might change a bit as the meta progresses. We've only currently had this meta for a couple of weeks now, and as we've seen before, after a month or two of the same meta, things can change. But it seems to be that Goblin Drill decks are nowhere near where they used to be. And it's just almost impossible to use the Goblin Drill successfully after that nerf. So I am going to rank it a C tier card. And then finally we have the Rage Spell. Was waiting patiently for his turn over there. Unfortunately, Rage Spell, it does not pay off, my friend. You are a D tier card, the bottom of the bottom. It's just very, very hard. Like, it's only ever really used in kind of those meme kind of trolley decks that once in a while can catch your opponent off guard. But besides that, you're just basically better off using any other card in the entire game. But that is my tier list. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my list? If there's any cards on here that you want to swap out or change, let me know down below in the comments. What would you change and why would you change it? But we're going to go ahead here and shift focus over to the website Royale API and take a quick look at the win rates of the actual cards in Clash Royale. Now this is based in Grand Challenges, the stats. If you're wondering why I'm looking at Grand Challenge stats, it's because Grand Challenges have tournament standard, which guarantees equal level playing field. On ladder, you very often have an over-leveled opponent, which is more a problem of over-leveling and not reflective of the actual card's powers, because if you're facing a level 13 and you're level 10, it doesn't really matter what cards they have. If they're higher level than you, it's going to be a very, very hard battle. So looking at the actual stats over here, we're going to look at the actual win percentages of the cards. You'll see a few of the cards here that were on my S tier rankings all the way up here at the highest win rates. Things like Hunter, Wall Breakers, Fisherman, Cannon Cart, one of the highest win rate cards in the entire game, Mortar, Heal Spirit, for example. You'll also see a few others that are ranked lower. Things like Barbarian Hut, 3 Musketeers, Skeleton Dragons. I rank those all as B tier. Maybe you're wondering why. It's because of the use rate. So a Barbarian Hunt, for example, might seem OP, because it has a 57% win rate, but it only has a 1% usage rate compared to something like Wall Breakers, which has the same win percentage, but 11% usage rate. And what that means is there are a lot more people that are consistently successfully using the Wall Breakers than there are the Barbarian Hat. We also have things like the Spear Goblins, the Mega Minion, the Guards, the Miner, the Ghost, and the Graveyard, all the way up here as some of the highest win rate cards in the entire game. Conversely, going all the way down here, you'll see the bottom card in the entire game is the Wizard. So a lot of you that might have said to me, Shane, why are you ranking Wizard C tier? Right there. Bottom of the bottom, the very lowest card for win percentage right now in Clash Royale, in Grand Challenges. We also see things like Witch, Executioner, Hog Rider, Inferno Tower, even the Electro Giant. Remember I said earlier, just wait for the stats? Now we can actually see the Electro Giant is one of the lowest win percentage cards in the entire game after that 4% health nerf. So even though it seemed like it wouldn't be a whole lot, it does appear to have affected the card quite a bit. But guys and girls, that is my tier list over there. That is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more Clash Royale videos, and we shall see you all in the next one.